is untouched, unbothered, undisturbed, just waiting for me to come back and get it.
Cardessa, what you said when you said fine, because you were very specific in saying that word fine, obviously a spiritual word, but you said you included other pieces to that where, one, the way you found your goal card was exactly where it needed to be.
You're right.
So that nobody else would see it in passing. Please share that.
Yeah, thank you that's a really important detail, and maybe a convincing detail of how important it is to have that image in your mind. So yes. I told you guys I had this $100 bill tucked in the goal card, very appealing to anybody, much less after a long week. So I envisioned and I hoped and I had the faith that this goal card would be laying on the ground, $100 bill side down. Right. With just the card facing up, looking like a stray business card. So nobody would say, ooh, let me go grab that. And that's exactly how I found it. $100 bill side down, just looking like a stray business card.
Yes. So powerful. And I want to step you back a little bit more. Share what words was on the back of the gold card, because when you look at this gold card and it has $100 and it has your information on it and it talks going to I stimulate my presentation, but there's something above that, and that's powerful too. So tell us what that says.
Yeah, the top of my gold card says, be brave enough to have a conversation that matters.
That matters. And now
that matters.
That matters. So let's move forward. This was a lesson of faith versus fear. Faith requires hope to be attached to it, because when we don't have the hope lined with our faith, we go into the dark place. We give the power over to the ego and we go into that fear mode. So at this point, you chose faith. When you chose it, which you chose to believe in the faith and to immediately flip that switch, to shift it, which is also another spiritual word, to finding and visualizing that gold card. That was like, it got me when I read that, and I was like, oh my goodness, so powerful. And also, you also talked about this cloud that eventually disappeared with your thought, and you used a specific technique. So let's talk about the technique. Name it and tell us about the technique that you used, the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth.
Oh, wow. No, this is the real esoteric.
And remember?
Yep.
You're talking
All
to
right.
me. This is important because this is something that is involved in chanting, that is involved with traditional Chinese medicine, with converse, and it helps to intensify the intention. Okay, but this other
we have a lot of crisscross topics, don't we?
Yes, we do. And you know we do, because it keeps showing up, and that's the wonderful thing about recognizing the soulmate and recognize that opportunity of it. It's just more than a basic relationship, and how we just make that connection and we go into that oneness. But I want you to share and tell us more about this unique technique.
Sure. What you're referencing is called the Baga technique. And this is a way that you can intensify your desire and intensify your intention. And the technique is putting the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth where your soft palate meets your hard palate. And at that point, inside of your mouth is an energy channel. I believe it's called the meridian. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, you're correct.
Is that,
yes.
Okay,
yes,
and when you touch this tip of your tongue to that space in your mouth, you open a channel that intensifies your desire. And we know, spirit is always responding to the intensity of our faith, of our desire. So this is a way that you can make a situation go your way, make a cloud disappear. And the point really is to exercise the power of your thought, exercise your energetics. Everything is energy. And we have ways to manipulate and intensify that energy in our own spiritual body, in our energetic body.
Yes. And you know what? When you were talking about that and you keep saying spot, I'm going to bring it here because this is what came to my mind when you were saying that. And most of us who are Okay, I will definitely say you should know this by now. 30 and above.
Yep.
Spot. You talk about the connection with the heart and your intention, your words, and the mind. Also, too, that's all linked up to our power grid with the chakra system. And I call this the Gspot. It's the Gspot. And the Gspot, you can take that as what society said, and you know what? It is that spot that allows the orgasms to come. But the G for me means God. And the spot is that connection, that intensified connection to link up with God's spirit at the right time, in the right place, and in this case, with the right intention to manifest and explode that image, that vision into manifestation. And the saddest part I have to say, and I don't even know what the percentages of this is, but I'm going to talk about this, that there's a lot of women today that don't even know where their G-spot is. And if that's the case, we have a duality with men, and because we have a male part to our bodies and we have a female part to our bodies. And so the female part is on the left and the male part is on the right. And that's why when you look in the mirror and you're combing that hair, it never goes right on both sides. That's the reason why. So I'm just saying, this is powerful. This is powerful, and what you're sharing on the show tonight is so powerful, because what you're saying is to recreate the route of the negativity that always is constant going through our mind. And we have over 600,000 thoughts a day. That
sounds about right.
I don't know.
Always thinking.
We always thinking. We pull on, and we just lose it. We just lose it. And so that's why meditations and different types of meditations, yoga, tai chi, anything like that, ancient Chinese techniques, all of this is so important. And the most important thing is the heart. The heart is that receiver. It's the message center. It's the love chakra. It receives the love. It gives the love. It also allows us to go through the healing, to let go, and to forgive. And if we're not able to do these things, there are a few things happening. We have obstacles, we have blocks, or worst of it all, we have a barrier that we cannot receive. So body language is a big, major thing when it comes to this healing process. And I'm just so glad that God flowed this wisdom to you as another way, another opportunity among the many, 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 many different messages that are aligned with each other, and systems and methods and techniques for us to align with what is best for us. This formula of the Seeker's formula. And I love how it's just simple and it's just to the point. And again, and it's personal to you, Cardessa. It's personal to you, which is amazing for the secret of success. So, hey, we're looking at conquer, knowledge, explore, and realize to align with those results.
You're giving me such a great idea, because you're talking about healing, and healing is such a key component to conquering yourself and being able to experience greater things and having greater love and self-love, because we all have healing to do, but it is optional. It's not a given, and it does require work. That's
you're right. And would you agree that a lot of us, again, our ego is getting in the mind and telling us that, one, we deserve it. We don't need to give it. So therefore we're not receiving it. And there's just so much layers of just messed up things that we need to detach from, we need to deprogram with. But that's a part of the work here. That's the reason why each one of our souls have come into manifestation, because people, we got work to do. And everybody has the ability on an individual level and basis to reach their mastership in their life. Because when you're born into the world, you are perfect. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that you don't have karma to work out. So therefore, you're going to have those lower level relationships with our other karma mates, or what I call the breast teachers. Hey, We all have these things that we need to work on. And guess what? That sidetracks us. That get our focus out of getting to the point of the awakening. And then what happens over time, that builds up. In most cases, a lot of us don't get to the awakening before we've gone through the breakdown. Right. Because the breakdown is that spirit spot that I talked about. We just ignored everything. We just don't want to see it the way it's showing it to us, because we are asking the questions, but they're not conscious. They're unconscious, like you were saying earlier in the show. And we're manifesting these things. And I say to people, when I'm working with them or not, I'm going to tell them, listen, you want that great soulmate. The top one, and I've come up with 7, and the top one is the spiritual partnership that encompasses all the lower ones. But what's happening is you can only attract how you love yourself, because you're one with the universe. You're made up of the universe. So therefore, how you love yourself is what you're sending out into the universe. And the universe, people, to me, in my experience, is the only thing that is black and white. Clearly, tripped up about this color thing. That's the only platform that I know that is black and white, light and dark. What you put out is what you manifest. All those people sitting at the light. Another example, Cardessa, sitting at the light, and what they're saying. Oh, I'm going to be late for work. Right. I'm going to be late for work. I'm going to hit every red light. I know I'm going to hit every red light. Did you know? You just spoke that into existence, and what happened?
You just ordered it. You ordered it. Spirit delivered.
And Spirit did not let you down. Spirit gave you exactly what you want. But you know what? I tell you too, and in my experience, Spirit is funny. Spirit's been around a long time before we even came into existence. And when I get into situations, especially here in Houston or anywhere where there's crazy traffic and I know I need to be somewhere at a certain time or whatever, I say, you know what? And, I work on the angel plane. So angels, whether I say it out loud or whether I say it within my mind, but most cases I say it out loud. I say, okay, I'm looking for you guys to show up and show out. Can you please help me? I know you can't get rid, well, you can, but you don't want to get rid of all the cars. We don't want to make it too obvious. But to get this traffic flowing so I can get to where I need to get to. Can you please help me with that? Let me get to, when that happens, it happens within, at the most, minutes. And then I notice that the traffic is flowing and it is moving. And you know what? But guess what? That's my relationship with Spirit. What is your relationship with Spirit? And I'm going to tell you, say, listen, do not have this thing all pegged down. I do not. As long as God's breath is flowing within our body, we are here to do the work. Spirit uses all kinds of ways. When you agree to deliver the message where it needs to be delivered. I'm in here, Cardessa, and as we get ready to wrap the show up, and I can't even believe it, we should know better when you and I get together. Because this is so essential and important, and this young lady is powerful. Care about what you're doing. Give out your contact information. Find out more about, coming back in and maybe putting together some, like an e-workshop or course or something, dedicate a couple hours for anybody who wants to find out more.
Do that.
Say your final remarks and your contact information, and then I'll close it down.
Okay. Well, I would like to just pedal back, because you said that you attract exactly how you love yourself. And I've heard so many people say, and I've said this before many years ago, that I'm looking for somebody to complete me, or this person completes me. That is so erroneous, and that's part of the problem. We need to be seeking people who complement us. We can complete. We're supposed to bring it 100% to the relationship, not 50%, looking for someone to bring the other 50. It's 100% and 100%. That's a whole relationship. And this is in matters of the heart, matters of love, matters of prosperity and health, right? It's becoming whole in who you are. It's about identifying what are these layers of false beliefs, of virus code, of bad thinking, of negative experience that I have still within my being, that I'm operating out of. Ideas that are not even my ideas, stuff I observed from my parents, things that my community impressed upon me? What are these ideas I'm operating with that are holding me down and keeping me from getting the results that I want? So that inner exploration is so vital to living a fulfilled life, to getting the things that you want and experiencing life more fully. So if you'd like to know more about my thinking